The Prime Minister is going to be addressing the nation this evening. He's going to be addressing the countrymen at 5 p.m. Prime Minister's office put out a tweet and confirmed this. Prime Minister Modi is going to be speaking on the government's vaccination policy that has been criticized by states and experts. As the number of COVID cases dip in the country and states have begun unlocking by relaxing curbs, the Prime Minister may be speaking possibly on unlock, advising the people not to lower their guards against the pandemic. He may also likely present the roadmap of vaccination, how the government is preparing with the third wave and a possible stimulus package to boost the economy. The economy recorded its worst ever growth rate in 2021 due to the pandemic. Rahul Srivastava reporting from Delhi. Sneha Mordani also joining us live. First up, let's go straight across to Rahul Srivastava, our National Affairs Editor. Rahul, this news had just broken a while back about the Prime Minister addressing the nation. For the viewers who have just tuned in, if you could just encapsulate, what is the key expectation from the address today?
Jyoti, multiple layers which need to be addressed at this moment if one looks at the broad picture, though I will always say that hazarding a guess about the Prime Minister's address has its own risk. What one can certainly say is that the caseload in terms of the cases being reported daily all over the country has been coming down, and there have been certain easing of restrictions. From the May period when nearly 98% districts in India were under varying degree of lockdowns and restrictions, things are changing, and even the NCR region is seeing certain amount of easing down. You have got your metro running 50%. So people are going to be coming out, and that's where lies the need and what you said about the third wave, the linkages that the Prime Minister would like to address. The Prime Minister will caution the nation certainly that their numbers have come down after a very, very torturous 2 months in which lives were lost and there was a lot of distress among public. And one of the reasons could well be the lack of adherence to protocols. And that's why the Prime Minister may stress on adhering to the protocols, though numbers are coming down. Also, there is a strange phenomena in which the numbers in north of India are falling sharply compared to down south. So each region needs to have its own improvisation in terms of adherence to protocols and easing of restrictions. The Prime Minister is likely to touch upon that. Then comes the critical part, that I think everything, and all the experts have said everything in future hinges to vaccination. Now that we have seen a scenario in which even as recent as now, that Tamil Nadu has stated that it is unable to procure vaccination from outside, the entire idea of a decentralized vaccination procurement seems to have not worked. In that scenario, there is a cry that the center should step in as a central procurer. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman yesterday very clearly said that the government may consider centrally procuring. That does give an advantage to the center in terms of bargaining as far as a better pricing of vaccine is concerned. There is a possibility that the Prime Minister, instead of behaving the nuts and bolts, could give a broad promise in terms of what the future vaccination roadmap in terms of procurement and delivery could well be. The last is, definitely there is a sense of economic stress, and the Prime Minister could indicate some kind of a broad parametered solution for tackling that economic distress. May not touch upon the nuts and bolts, as I said earlier also, in terms, because last time also it was Nirmala Sitharaman, in terms of the economic distress.
Absolutely. Hold on right there, Rahul. That's great lowdown on the possible expectations from the Prime Minister's address at 5 p.m. today. Sneha Mordani, who tracks the health beat, is also joining us. Sneha, if you remember, after the first wave got over and the interim period before the second wave began, a lot of people in this country let their guards down, and hence we saw what happened in the second wave. At this point of time, as India begins to unlock, there would be certain concerns of not allowing people to let their guards down, because there could be a real threat and a fear looming large of a third wave to come. Sneha, what are you picking up on that front?
Yes, absolutely. Chetty, each time there is an announcement that the Prime Minister is going to be addressing the nation, what comes to my mind is a study that has been done by the Cambridge University that talks about the fact that in India, in the first wave of the pandemic, the effective messaging from the Prime Minister himself, the top executive office in a country as large as India, was something that really worked in getting people to stay home and adhere to the norms in a lockdown in India, the first one that was seen as one of the harshest and most strictly implemented lockdown in the world. I think the Union Health Ministry and the Prime Minister's office are looking at sending out similar kind of messaging once again when the Prime Minister addresses the nation today. The conversation is going to be about why we can't take a chance with COVID. It sprung a surprise on us this time around when we looked at the second wave. The Prime Minister is also expected to touch upon the fact that there are preparations ongoing for the third wave. I also think the Prime Minister has spoken about this in the past as well in his internal meetings with the Health Ministry, that there are more vaccines than what we know about right now. And that the attempt really from the side of the government is to narrow the gap between the demand and supply for doses. Remember, we are talking about 2 to 3 vaccines, but there are at least half a dozen more that are in the pipeline. I think
Sneha, may
that's
I
not a
please
status
request you to
also.
stay on and hold on to that thought right there. RP Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party is joining us on this broadcast. Mr. RP Singh, appreciate you taking the time out and joining us on this broadcast. You know, people want to hear from the Prime Minister. A lot of questions that needs answering as well in terms of the looming threat of the third wave on the unlock guidelines. It makes a huge difference when the Prime Minister addresses the nation and tells the people not to let their guard down. Is this practically on the lines of what he's going to be talking today?
Well, your guess and my guess, we have to wait for 5 p.m. But it seems that Prime Minister might address on the third wave and an unlocking process is happening. And as Prime Minister has been earlier also addressing the nation and then has been talking to experts, scientists, doctors, and he gathers a lot of information, and on that basis he addresses the nation. So let's hope that he probably will help us and guide us how to take care of the third wave and how to unlock process. But again, it's a guess which either you or we can't make right now.
Two other very significant points, RP Singh, that come to my mind. The first one, of course, is on the vaccine shortage in this country. And the Prime Minister has had multiple meetings with various chief ministers of various states. And this vaccine shortage is still very much a reality in this country. Do you see that being addressed too today?
Again, I can't say, but what Prime Minister will say. But as far as vaccine is concerned, as for my best of my knowledge, there is still 2 crore vaccine which is still in the pipeline with various state governments. So they need to use that. And then for this month also, there's almost more than 11 crore vaccine which is in process now, which will be given to states. And in coming months, it's adding up to 15 to 19 to 30, 35 crore. And by end of the year, almost 216 crore vaccine will be given to almost 100 crore people in India. And then that should probably take care of the vaccination process in the country. But again, as I said, I can't guess. I'm no one to guess on what Prime Minister is going to do. I'm no one to comment on what he's going to say.
Nobody can guess at this point of time, Mr. RP Singh. But how is the BJP at the centre, the central government, gearing up to solve the economic crisis that the country is facing today, given the fact that the second wave of the pandemic has been tough on people from all sections of society, with many job losses also being reported?
So the Finance Ministry would be considering it, and then probably will come out with some solutions to it. We accept there are problems because this is a pandemic which was not imagined by anyone, and then since it has happened, so government has earlier also given a package, economic package. This wave also, government would be assessing how to help the people at large. But as I said, neither I would like to guess, neither you can guess. But issue says that Prime Minister always help all of us to understand things better and puts a perspective which is a wider perspective, because he has much more input than any one of us.
Sure, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you joining us on this broadcast as well. RP Singh, thank you very much for those inputs right there. Rahul Srivastava also with us. Rahul, as you know, you heard from the BJP spokesperson too. At this point of time, all of them can only play a guessing game to just guess as to what the Prime Minister would end up speaking at 5 p.m. today. But it's a no-brainer because we're coming out of the second wave of the pandemic and bracing ourselves for the third wave of the pandemic. And these are likely the possible points on the agenda that he could talk about. There couldn't be anything outside of the ordinary from this that he could be addressing.
Jesse, the Prime Minister has been in touch with the BJP. Yesterday, he held a meeting with all the general secretaries of the party. Now, this followed a meeting of the general secretaries with Mr. J.P. Nadda, the BJP president, in which the broad contours of preparations for all the assembly elections which are going to be there next year. That includes the all-important Uttar Pradesh. In terms of the preparations, how to activate the mandal level, block level, all that was discussed. But amidst all that, one of the topic of discussion was that how the BJP workers and the BJP as a political unit entity behind the government can take the message about what the government has done to battle COVID-19 pandemic to the last denominator in these 5 states which are heading towards election. Now, among the feedback which the Prime Minister received is definitely about the vaccination drive, that how in several regions the vaccination drive does need a push, and also the kind of opportunity it presents to the government to make its mark felt. And that is why that, along with Nirmala Sitharaman, the finance minister, saying that the government will be considering central procurement, is perhaps an indicator that what the Prime Minister could well possibly indicate in his speech today. Importantly, the centre has money for it. Remember, 35,000 crore rupees was set aside by the centre for vaccination across the country in the last budget. Now, out of that, in this fiscal, 4,000 crore has been spent as far as the vaccination is concerned. So the centre has nearly 31,000 crore rupees at its hand. Now, what sources are indicating that is enough to vaccinate 100 crore people twice. That means something close to 200 crore jabs, means 2 billion doses can be procured from that money. So the centre has that fiscal elbow room to actually go in for that expenditure. And if the government has elbow room, there are indications from the finance minister, the BJP is saying vaccination is important. It could be safely said that maybe the Prime Minister may give a positive indication about vaccination drive being driven by the centre at a time when the states have thrown up their hands that they can't procure it.
Absolutely. Sneha Mordani also is joining us for the latest. Sneha, the other big question here is the vaccination as far as children are concerned. While the adults are getting vaccinated, we're falling short of the vaccine. Even for the adults, the bigger question now is the kids, because the kids can also, the virus can play host right there. And many doctors have spoken to you about that too. And on a war footing, the country not only just needs to vaccinate the entire population, but also the children. Do you think anything of that on that lines could be addressed by the Prime Minister today?
That this, Chetty, is going to be a confidence-building measure. I would presume that the Prime Minister would touch upon some of these issues when he does talk about the preparations for what appears to be inevitable, which is a third wave of the pandemic. We don't know just yet how that's going to pan out, the severity of the infection, which population, which section of the population it is going to infect, because in general, the government has been talking about this also. There is nothing definitive to show that children are going to be worst hit. However, there is a sense of fear and apprehension. And I think as a part of the confidence building exercise, the Prime Minister will talk about all of these issues, right from the fact that there are more vaccines than what we think there are. Because remember, there are a dozen more, at least half a dozen more in the pipeline essentially. Covaxin, Covishield and Sputnik V are actually not the only vaccines that we are looking at. That is something the Prime Minister will talk about as an attempt to, highlight the initiatives taken by the government in totality to reduce the widening gap between supply and demand for doses of the vaccine. And I think that's something that he's going to address. Also, effective messaging, and I spoke about this earlier as well, Chetty. The Prime Minister's messaging in terms of following protocol to implement a harsh and a strict lockdown that we did in the country last year. Studies point in the direction that the word is from the Prime Minister and that's the reason why it is implemented. It was a harsh one of the harshest in the country. I think this is the same approach that the government is going to adopt to then have the Prime Minister send out that message that even right now, though the national positivity rate is hovering around the 5% mark, which is ideal according to the World Health Organization, the cases are on the decline in urban India, but leave nothing to chance. We have a problem of a silent crisis in rural India. That's where the problem of vaccine hesitancy is. That's where the problem of following protocol is. This is something the Prime Minister is undoubtedly going to touch upon today.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Sneha, stay on with us. Our health reporter, Sneha, getting us the details of what could perhaps be addressed in the Prime Minister's speech given the coronavirus crisis in this country in the second wave, that India is coming out of, bracing ourselves for the third wave. Let's also get you a few pointers on what could be expected in the mega address of the Prime Minister today. Number one, All India vaccination roadmap, as Sneha was mentioning earlier as well. Number two, unlock and need to follow the protocol. Very important given the kind of guards that were let down after the first wave. Number three, preparation for a third COVID wave could be on the agenda. And number four, the contribution of healthcare warriors, perhaps a tribute going out to our healthcare warriors and all our doctors out there. Number five, as Rahul Srivastava was mentioning, economic SOP, which is standard operating procedure for COVID hit in second wave, for the COVID hit areas in the second wave as well. Rahul Srivastava joining us for the latest on this. Rahul, as you already mentioned to us, that it is the finance minister who addresses the nuances and finer nuts and bolts as far as the economic SOPs are concerned, or revival packages or stimulus packages are concerned. This perhaps can be touched upon by the Prime Minister, given the fact that it is also mainly a confidence boosting measure to the nation that has been battered really badly by the second wave.
Yes, Jesse, the Prime Minister has his task cut out. I think what is most significant is that after the first wave of COVID, when the Prime Minister drove the entire exercise and one found that it was tackled much better compared to the initial part of the second surge, I think it might well indicate the Prime Minister returning to the center stage. If today's need is, if there has to be a roadmap for economy, roadmap for recovery, that roadmap is terribly linked, conjoined to the roadmap for vaccination. If vaccination does not happen in a steady, quick manner, even the RBI has, a governor in his recent monetary report has said that that is an imperative. That's important, that vaccination roadmap needs to be set up and speeded up. And that is why the Prime Minister could well be giving, if not the nuts and bolts, but a positive indication as far as the vaccination drive in future is concerned, especially because there has been a sense of dismay in terms of the states expressing their inability to procure the vaccination after a long period of states saying that they want decentralized vaccination procurement. And when the decentralization was allowed, they failed. At that time, India's vaccination picture is presenting some very bad perception. It's a very negative perception it is creating. And that's why the Prime Minister will like to address that perception, because it's not just vaccination and the perception about vaccination, it's a perception about FDI, for example, that if India seems to be not doing well in tackling COVID-19 because it is not vaccinating or procuring vaccine, the FDIs may go down, the investment climate may suffer, that may speed up joblessness and the sense of distress in the country. And then, of course, there are 5 states which are going to election in the next year, and UP is absolutely critical for the BJP. In that, the BJP will like to rectify the vaccine picture first before it does anything else.
Rahul, I'm compelled to take a very short commercial break. This remains to